Hello, welcome to 14.2 day 2. So here is your problem of the days. It is just like what we just did the last class. So let me get to the draw feature. All right. So again, we have parentheses on this left side and we need to solve them before we solve for x. So we need to distribute this 5. Does distributing mean multiplying or dividing? Multiplying. So we're going to do 5 times 3x. That gets us 15x. And then we're going to also do 5 times negative 2. Don't forget that sign in front. Negative 2. 5 times negative 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. And a positive times a negative is going to be a negative. So we got 15x minus 10. And then we're going to bring all this down on the right side because we didn't do anything with it. Okay, now we're going to make a zero pair with the smaller variable. Which one's smaller, 15 or 13? Oops, 13. You are correct. So I have a positive 13. Opposite of positive 13 is a negative 13x, and I'm going to do that to both sides. 15 minus 13 gets us 2x, and bring down everything else. Minus 10 equals 10. Okay, now I got to get rid of this negative 10. I need to make a zero pair. So the opposite of negative 10 is a positive 10 to both sides. Those go away. So I'm left with 2x equals 10 plus 10 is 20. Last but not least, I need to get rid of this 2. Do I multiply or divide? Divide. 2 divided by 2 gets us 1. So we're left with x. And 20 divided by 2 gets us 10. Final answer. Okay, take this time now, do this one on your own on Nearpod and press pause here and press play when you are ready to check your work. Okay, here we go. You should have split your line down the middle. And we need to get rid of the parentheses. So you should have taken that 6 and multiplied it to 5x. 6 times 5 gets us 30x's. And then we need 6 times 15. Maybe you don't know that off the top of your head. I don't. 6 times 15 gets me 90. So, and we have a negative in there, so it's going to be negative 90. Okay. Then we're going to bring everything else down. 20x plus 15. Okay, now I need to make a zero pair with a smaller variable. Which one's smaller, 30 or 20? 20. Good job. So we are going to do a negative 20 because that's the opposite of positive 20 to get rid of it, minus 20x. So 30 minus 20 gets us 10. X is minus 90 equals 15. Now I got to get rid of this 90. The opposite of negative 90 is positive 90. That's nice. Add 90 to both sides. So let's do 90. Come here. Let's do 90 plus 15 in the calculator. 90 plus 15, 105. Yep, 105. So I got 10x equals 105. All right, last but not least, we need to divide by 10 on both sides to get x by itself. Divide by 10, that turns into a 1. So we have 1x over here, which is what we want. Divide by 10. When you divide by 10, we're just going to move the decimal point over 1, but just in case we don't know, 105 divided by 10, 10.5. So you just move that decimal spot over 1. So we're going to get 10.5. Good job. Okay, that was your problem of the days. Moving on to today's work. So we are now, this time we are going to be writing an equation from a trend line. Today you'll already have the trend lines drawn for you, thank goodness, so that way we don't mess up on our equations. So we're going to identify and interpret the relationship first. Then we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept, and then we're going to write an equation. So here's our first example. And there is so we don't have any units on here, but we don't necessarily need units to kind of figure out what's happening. So first, we got to interpret the relationship. Is it positive, negative, or no association? Is the line going up? Is it going down? Or are there so many dots we can't put a line? If you said it is going downhill, you are correct. So to identify and interpret the relationship, it is a negative correlation. So as these, whatever units these are, as these numbers go up, these numbers go down. So they're going down, the negative relationship. So slope. So I told you guys at the beginning of the other class, slope. So our equations always look like y equals mx plus b. Okay, so b is our y-intercept. That is where the line crosses the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. Where does that line cross the y-axis? Where do they intersect at? This one's a little hard. It is above 9, so maybe we can make a guess, or around 9. I think most of the problems you will get normally, you won't have to guess. But if I had to guess, it's definitely under 9.5. So I'd probably, and it's really close to 9. I'd probably say 9.2? Make a guess. So I'm just gonna say 9.2. That is, let's see, make it red. So right here is my y-intercept. We're gonna say 9.2. Okay. So I would put that in for B. So, and right here, so I'm gonna put 9.2 is my y-intercept. So let me rewrite my equation. So what's always there is y equals mx. So these are what are always there, and we're going to be filling in these two spots. So we just figured out what this first spot is. We figured out the y-intercept. It is 9.2. I mean, if you want to make another different guess if you want, but I mean, it's definitely 9 for sure, but it's a little higher than 9, so that's why we took a guess. It's okay if you got 9, if you wanted to guess 9.3, 9.1. Like I said, I think more of these examples are not going to make you guess. So unfortunately, this one made me guess. So I'm going to put that 9.2 in that y-intercept spot. So I'm going to put it in this spot right here. Okay, so I'm going to take this number and I'm going to go put it right there. 9.2. So now I need one more spot for this in this equation. This is where we need a little bit more math to help us out. Remember our handy dandy y-intercept or our slope equation to help us figure out what slope is. So slope, so m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You guys, I think, got pretty good at this when we did it. This is not new. So you're like, what the heck? What am I gonna? What dots am I gonna pick? There's dots everywhere. You want to pick the dots, two dots that are on the line. Can you guys see two dots that are on the line? You see them? Right here. So here's one, and here's two. So we're going to use those two dots, and we're going to put them in here. So we need to write the ordered pairs. What are ordered pairs? So we got to find. So let's do, there should be a lot of drawing on here. I'm going to erase this, okay? Okay, I need more room. Okay, so the ordered pairs for this one, remember ordered pairs have parentheses. And the first spot is X, and the second spot is Y. So let's zoom on in here. Okay, so my X, so you start at 0, 0 always to get the ordered pair. Now I'm going to get X. So X, I have to go over, and I'm now lined up with it. So my X is 1, and my Y is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 1, 8. Okay, now I'll take the other one. I need the X and then the Y. So my X for this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's lined up with 7. And I go up 1. So my Y is 1. Okay, so now I have my two ordered pairs. I'm going to erase these. Hopefully you're okay with that. Don't want things messy. Okay, so now I'm going to take my two ordered pairs and plug them in. Whoa, Mayday. Plug them into my equation. Okay, so y1 and y2. So we'll just say this one comes first and this one comes second because right to left. Theoretically, I don't think it matters, but I would definitely go left to right for number 1, number 2. So let's just label these. So these are x1 and y1, and these are x2 and y2. Okay, so I need y2. Which number is y2? And can I write this over here? I'm gonna write it over here. Okay, so I need y2. So y2 is 1. So I got 1 minus y1. Here's y1, and it's 8. So I got 1 minus 8. And then I need x2 minus x1. x2 is 7 minus x1 is 1. And then solve these. So 1 minus 8, well, if I had $1 and I had to spend $8, I don't have a positive number anymore. And if you need help, just put it in the calculator. 1 minus 8 equals -7. So I have -7 over 7 minus 1 is 6. So I have -7 over 6. And this answer makes sense. Here's why this makes sense. We have a negative correlation. It is going downhill. When our slope goes down, it is going to be a negative slope. So this makes sense. So if we had a positive slope, this wouldn't help us. Let's test out the theory of switching the ordered pairs. What if I had it switched? Because I know some of you will be like, well, Ms. Abbott, what if I did the other one first? What happens? Well, let's test it out. I think we'll be okay. So let's switch it around. What if I changed, let me just erase these. Oops. What if these were 1s and these were 2s? Let's test it again. So y2 is 8 minus y1 is 1 minus 1. Okay, so look, they just flip-flopped. See, that's okay. Let's see. Remember, we still need a negative slope, so that's what we want. So x2 is 1 minus x1 is 7. And 8 minus 1 is 7, okay? And 1 minus 7, what's that? 1 minus 7, -6. And there you go. Now, some of you are like, Ms. Abbott, well, the negative sign's on a different number. That's okay. So as long as one of the numbers, so this words. A slope is a fraction, yes? So it's usually 7 divided by -6. So a negative divided by a positive is going to stay negative. If both these numbers were negative, that would actually be a positive slope because a negative divided by a negative is positive. So the fact that so either this one's positive and that one's negative, that's okay. And this one's negative and this one's positive. So either way, you can go either way. Just make sure that you're not like switching from 1 to 1. Like it should not be 8 minus 1 and 7 minus 1. That's not going to work. So either point, you could do, these ones give you the 2s, these ones give you the 1s, or these ones give you the 1s and these give you the 2s. That's okay. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. The negative will just be in a different spot, and that's okay. It means the same thing. So for our slope for our equation, you could pick either one of these. I want to go with this one just because. So I'm going to insert -7 over 6 and call it a day. That's it. This is your equation. I know that seems a lot. I know when we've taught stuff like this before, you guys are probably like, that took a really long time, but it really won't take a long time. I was just trying to jog your memory and refresh your memory of how to do this. You'll get much faster at it, I promise. So this is what you have to get from there. I'm not gonna have time to do another example, but feel free to go ahead on out to your Nearpod and get some of these done, so you'll have some nice ones to do. Okay. All right. Let us know if you have any questions.